Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Vicky, for the kind introductions. Okay, so thank you for having me today. I work for Cytovisions. I would like to talk about the emerging role of digital morphology in precision diagnostics. So let's recap yesterday, Dr. Ross Susanna from MOH. She mentioned that Malaysia will reach the aging nations in 2030, which is 6 years from now. And we also know that the risk of the cancer actually increases with when we age. So according to this study, they actually found that about 1% of the populations will have a chance of cancer after they reach the age of 60 and above. So by This is the highlight that have the paper actually found. By the year of 2035, which is 11 years from now, there will be 100% increase of populations in Asia who have a risk of cancer. So which is 11 years. So I would like to remind you that the number of 11 years to have 100% increase of the risk of cancer in our Asian populations. That's 11 years from now. So if you have cancer, you have any tumors, suspected lumps and bumps, who are we referring to? It is the pathologists that help us to make the diagnosis. And do we have enough pathologists in the worldwide? So this chart shows the distributions of the pathologists in the world per millions of populations. So the green area shows that they have sufficient pathologists, supposedly, at the ratio of 40 pathologists per million of populations. And the Asia, you can see that we actually only have 10 to 19 of pathologists across the millions of populations. So when we do not have enough pathologists, our pathologists will suffer a burnout. So what would that lead to? There will be a compromise of our diagnosis. Then also, there will have early retirement for the pathologists. End up is actually causing a further burden to our healthcare system. And the easy solution is we train more pathologists, right? Simple reason, simple solutions. But it easily takes 14 to 15 years to train up a pathologist. Bear in mind, just now I mentioned 11 years to reach 100% increase of the cancer risk in Asian populations. So 11 years plus 15 years, definitely we are not able to catch up. So yesterday, our Ministry of Health also mentioned how could it be sustainable? And probably we can rely on technologies. Let us see whether it could help. Of course, the pathologists make diagnosis using a microscope, which has a long history. We can date back to 15th century. But in 1999, Wessel and Gilbertson actually came up with the fully automated whole slide imaging in 1999. So with this technology, they can actually have not only the image being acquired, of course, you have to store them. After you store them, when we want to retrieve them, how are you going to see them? And with this whole slide imaging, it serves numerous data for artificial intelligence development. So these are the 4 components of whole slide imaging. In image acquisitions, the first part of whole slide imaging, basically you have an automated scanner to scan the slide. And they go through a high resolutions, 40 to 20 times of the objective lens. And after that, you generate the whole slide. You can actually break down to the patches, the whole slide image patches that give the AI to analyze them. And bear in mind that all the whole slide image, they are actually occupy big data file size. Why is that so? It's because the image, the file structure, actually arranged in such a way that it's a pyramid structure. So when you look at probably a lower resolution, say like 5 times, you are actually viewing at the tip of the pyramid. So when you move your mouse, you scroll further in, you actually have a higher resolution of the images. So which is actually you are looking at the base of the pyramid in the data structure. So comes to visualizations after you have the cells. after you have the slide scan. So you no longer depend on the microscope to look at the slide, but you can actually look at the monitor screen. And when it comes to visualizations, what they need to do with the game, okay? So back then, the group in Harvard actually, when they want to develop a prototype for whole slide imaging system, they actually study the PlayStations to see how to view the slide in a high-speed manner. So those gamers, thank you for contributing to the science and continue to play games. So what are the advantages when you have the whole slide image and be able to view it on your monitor screen? First of all, they are no longer fragile. If you all handle pathology slide or whatever your hard work from your research projects, all the slides are very precious. Once you break it, you'll no longer be able to retrieve them. And over the times, it will also fade the color of the staining. And when you have the whole slide image scanner, that will be more accessible to a lot of users. And the image are actually immediately available. It actually make no difference from the one that you capture from a microscope and actually captured by the whole slide image. And it is good in a way that it can create an extensive database even for very rare disease. And in those days, pathologists, when they want to conduct the teaching, so they actually sit in front of the teaching microscope. And I had the privilege to sit in one of the sessions, whereby the session was conducted by Emeritus Professor Chong Soon King. He will be looking at the microscope, and then the other end of the microscope is actually the trainee sitting there. So he will tell, oh, can you see the cell on your 11 o'clock? So people will look at the microscope. Okay, where is the 11 o'clock cells? Can you look at the slide at 6 o'clock? Oh, okay, 6 o'clock. Oh, this is the resemble of certain pathology, I mean the morphology. So when you have whole slide image being projected on the monitor screen, you no longer need to go through that. We do not have to guess whether you got the cells correctly, mentioned by the professor. You just go and point, this is the cell that you should be looking at. This is something abnormal. So that's the beauty of it. And of course, it has some challenges. It comes with a cost, the scanner. And when you want to implement this, you should think of something that manage to scan the slides in a short period of time, probably like 2 minutes instead of 2 hours, especially if you have thousands of slides for diagnosis, okay? And the quality of the image upon the camera, upon the microscope capture the images. So it's best to have something to go with auto zoom, autofocus. That will make you less worried the moment that the quality of the slides. And of course, when you're dealing with larger file size, in terms of 2 to 5 gig, okay, 2 to 5 gig is not megabyte, it's 2 to 5 gig. How are you going to store them? And each of the storing, which actually increase the cost as well. So these are some challenges. And when it comes to the regulations, whether this whole slide image, would it be acceptable? Yes, it is. It is actually accepted by the FDA, and actually make no difference compared to the diagnosis made on the whole slide image through the monitor and compared to the glass slide over the microscope. And in case you think that, this is something new and probably we'll wait for 10 years, it will come to us. Actually, for the past 5 years, about 16.3% of the product registered with FDA, they're actually diagnostic instruments with AI. And up to date, there are about close to 900 medical devices actually with built-in AI and machine learning. Majority of them are radiology. 10% are probably is cardiology, and 2% associated with hematology, and 4% with neurology. So this is not something in the future. It is happening right now. So we should embrace, right? So just to brief you some idea of the artificial intelligence developments, it's actually split into 2 parts. First part of it is actually pre-processing, whereby you have the slide, the whole slide image, then you have to go through a very painful annotation, whereby you have to make a notation on the slide itself, telling which are the abnormal, which are the normal. Okay, after you have all the data, you can go through oh, thank you, 10 minutes more. After go through the sections, the feature, and to input to train the system. You have all the data, you can train the system, then they will go through a convolutional neural networking. So I will come to this convolutional networking later. And after that, you will have the AI. So this paper, actually, they use the AI to train the malaria, the species identification, as different species of the parasite actually have different treatment outcome. So right now, we actually have a lot of AI-assisted software available, and they are FDA approval. The first one is actually gotten the FDA approval. It's actually the AI to train read the slides for prostate cancer. And just to show you an example, those diagnostic instruments with AI enabled. So they found that actually with the AI assistant, it could actually the accuracy and the specificity can actually improve by those non-experienced endoscopists. And there are also studies being done on HER2, staging, because right now with the available of HER2 low targeted therapy, so you need the classifications of HER2 low is very important. And the AI could able to pick up the HER2 low, and it's as good as the experienced pathologist. And what about PD-L1 checkpoint inhibitor? So with the available of this targeted therapy, we need to assess the PD-L1 expressions. So this paper from Nature, actually, they found that using the AI to assist, it could came out with comparable results as the experienced pathologist. And what does it all mean to us? It could be translated into clinical utilities in terms of reducing time, reducing costs, and also increase the accuracy. So let's look at this paper. This is a paper that done with the AI assistants for the technicians to go through the leukocyte differentiations count. And they found that with the AI, that actually can increase the sensitivity and also the specificity. Not only observe such phenomena in junior technologies, but also in the immediate technologies, whereby they can increase their accuracy by 15% for abnormal differential count. And more importantly, they actually allow to reduce the time to read the slides. So each slide, they found that they can reduce by 215 seconds, which is roughly about less than 4 minutes. But if you have 1,000 slides, that is translated to a substantial hours that you actually need to spend on to the slide. And I visited a diagnostics center in China last year in the city of Ningbo. Ningbo is a city with probably the combinations of the surface area, probably combinations of Selangor, Seremban, and Malacca. And this diagnostic center that actually serves as a center diagnosis for 13 hospitals in the nearby region. So when you tell people that, oh, my diagnostic lab serves 13 hospitals, I would think that, okay, my staff have to work day and night, 24 hours, right? But actually, no. In this center, they actually work at the normal time, which is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and their report have to give in 3 days. How did they manage to do so? They have 60 pathologists. Every day, they diagnose 3,000 cases and 5,000 slides every day. So how do they do so? They actually streamline the whole process, digitalize, and also using the whole slide image scanning and AI to assist their pathologists to make the diagnosis. And in terms of increase the accuracy. In terms of reducing the cost, that's our healthcare system need the most, okay? So this study actually published in Lancet. They plot up a study looking at to screen cervical cancer for 100,000 women in a city in China for their lifetime. So they found that if they screen the women every 5 years, and with the AI-assisted liquid-based cytology that could actually save up 1.5 million US dollar in the long term. So with that, we think that we should embrace, right? We should embrace. And why, just now when I mentioned to you that the convolutionally neural networking, so this is serve as a black box because no one knows what is going on about in it. Despite they come up with the agreements, same as the pathologists. So people are a bit drawback with this unknown field. And of course, we also, the published paper in Digital Medicines by Nature Group, actually they found that the AI actually can help a lot, but it shouldn't substitute the human beings. Okay, the pathologists still need to be there. The AI serves as an assisting tool. And this is the blog came out 5 days ago. Actually, they found, actually by the Director Center for Digital Health in FDA. So they find that the AI is very promising. We definitely can use that, embark on that, and that should come with an external quality control assurance program. Yep. So hope that our future pathologists, with all these latest technologies help, hope that our future of the pathologists can make diagnosis in like a playing game mode, sitting comfortably, and no longer hiding in a spooky basement, smelly chemical, and improve our healthcare together. So these are the references. With that, I'm happy to take questions. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Doctor. Do we have any questions from the floor? Yes, Doctor.
Hi, Ms. Dr. Tan. My name is Dr. Jason from the National Cancer Society, NCCM. I was actually very intrigued with how accurate some of the AI testings were, especially when you mentioned the term "as good as a senior pathologist." I was quite impressed with that. Can I ask? So I'm just addressing the elephant in the room because this is the common debate when it comes to AI. Will these AI tools replace radiologists, histopathologists, so on and so forth? Because now in the current landscape where Malaysia is, I don't think that's possible because putting everything in the hands of an AI is, again, it's just a personal take on it for who knows in the future. But for me, it's a very irresponsible because, hey, we are letting the AI decide everything. If anything goes wrong, we blame the system. But what do you think? How would AI and the specialists play hand in hand in this emerging role of digital morphology and precision diagnostics?
Yeah, thank you for your questions. Yeah, you're right. Shall we leave everything to AI? So at this stage, at the current development, it is generally saying that it is no. You shouldn't leave the AI to do everything. It should be a tool to help you, to guide you, to make the diagnosis. The center that I went through, actually their AI system is not replacing. They actually they will identify which are the abnormal cells. Then they will list at the site. So the pathologist will go through the slides, see whether it is correctly named. So if it is, then they'll come up with a report. That will actually serve as a tool for you to verify. So the pathologist still have the final say to go through to check the AI. So in a way, currently it's still as a tool. But in the future, probably it is not confirmed yet. But right now, the development is managed to save time, reduce costs. I think that's pretty good.